Opening statement set for tomorrow in the Love Triangle murder trial out of the state of Texas for Kaitlin Armstrong. The court is only allowing the broadcasting of the opening statements, the closing arguments, and the verdict, but we have a team there, and we're going to have updates of this trial throughout the entirety of it.
That's right, and Armstrong is, of course, accused of shooting and killing professional cyclist Moriah Wilson in 2022. Investigators believe the two were romantic rivals because Wilson had dated Armstrong's former boyfriend. CourtTV legal correspondent Kelly Craft has a look at the case against Armstrong.
Nice work, guys. Come on!
These cyclists are competing in a 150-mile race called Gravel Locos. The reason Anna Moriah Wilson was in Austin, May 11th, 2022.
After just 2 seasons, she rose to the top of both mountain and gravel racing in the nation.
She had kind of just started being at the top level, and at 25 years old, for sure, her career was just getting started.
A promising future cut short when Mo, as her friends called her, was murdered. The motive? Mo was caught in the middle of a love triangle, according to investigators. At the center of it all, pro-cyclist Colin Strickland. Strickland had dated Wilson, who was in an on-again, off-again relationship with fellow cyclist Kaitlin Armstrong. According to the arrest affidavit, Armstrong was so angry over their relationship that she wanted Wilson dead. In a statement to an Austin American-Statesman reporter, Strickland said he only dated Wilson a week or so before he and Kaitlin reconciled their relationship. However, he continued to see Mo at cycling events. On the day of the murder, Strickland confirmed he and Wilson were together, swimming at a local pool and grabbing a bite to eat. Then, moments after dropping Wilson off at her friend's home, she was killed. Police say Armstrong's 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee was captured on surveillance video near the murder scene. Police questioned Armstrong, but didn't have enough to make an arrest. The very next day, Armstrong sold her Jeep for cash, and with the money flew from Austin to Houston to New York, where she was spotted on surveillance video wearing a mask, jean jacket, and carrying a yoga mat.
We're searching to find out where did she go when she landed in New York. From that point is the unknown right now.
For 43 days, Armstrong was considered a fugitive. Her father telling CourtTV he believes that she's innocent.
We would like to be left to be able to focus on Kaitlin's safety and proving her innocence.
U.S. Marshals would eventually locate Armstrong staying at a hostel in Costa Rica with her sister's passport, looking very different. Armstrong was extradited back to Texas, and she pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder. On October 11th, just weeks before her scheduled trial date, Armstrong tried to escape. Court documents show she may have been preparing to flee for months by exercising vigorously. She complained about an injury which led to a doctor's appointment outside of the jail. Armstrong had secured a medical request, allowing her to go without leg restraints. Then, while being escorted from a doctor's appointment, Armstrong broke free. Officers had to chase her for about a mile before she was recaptured. She faces an additional felony charge of escape causing bodily injury.
All right, let's bring in Marie Pereira. She's a criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and the trying to escape is not a good look. Let's face it, Marie, and it's actually pretty hard to pull off as well. Your thoughts on that and what it should tell us about her guilt or innocence? Maybe nothing, right? It could be that she just was innocent and needed to get away to tell people.
Okay, Ted.
Yeah.
If consciousness of guilt was a person, it would be her. First, she ran away from the scene, from New York, from America, okay? She sold her car, and then she jetted off to Costa Rica to pretend to be a yoga instructor. And let's not forget, she also tried to change the appearance of her face. Now, she's faking injuries to try to get to go to the doctor, and look at her, jumping like an acrobat, trying to go over that fence. That woman is guilty, okay? Consciousnessofguilt.com. This is her, period.
And you know, the jury will be able to hear about this. That was a ruling yesterday, according to our producer there on the ground inside the courtroom. So that's definitely some more firepower for the prosecution in their case. But if you were representing Kaitlin Armstrong here, Marie, let's go to the other side of the fence here. How would you try to overcome some of those challenges?
I would say that she is cloaked in a presumption of innocence, just like Julie Grant always says, until she's found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I would say that she ran away because she was afraid. She was afraid that this would be tried in the court of public opinion. And she made some wrong choices. But now that she's back, she plans to vigorously defend herself against these false allegations. That's what I would say.
We'll see how that works. What do you make of every state's different, sometimes as judges are different in terms of access. This is an odd one where cameras are in for the beginning and just the end and the verdict. I guess it's because at the end of the day, we don't believe that the admonition to jurors actually work. Is that it?
That could be it too, and I think the judge is trying to really respect the fact that trials should be made available to be seen by the public, but at the same time protect all the litigants so that this is not like so salacious with what happened that they would try her in the court of public opinion, and that would maybe impact the jurors when they go home. They're just trying to make sure that this woman's constitutional rights are preserved as well as the right of the public. So he sort of split the baby across the way to make sure everyone is happy. CourtTV is partially happy, and the defendants is still really given an impartial trial without outside influences.
Okay, well, let's leave that there. I think the camera should be in the whole time.
Right, well, Shanley's not partially happy.
I'm not partially happy.
She doesn't get it all.
What if she tries to escape during the trial again, Marie, and we don't get to see it? But we digress. Thank you for your insights there.